Hi guys, it's Lynn here. Hope you're having an amazing day. Now in this video, I'm going to be moving some of the Gasterias and the Aloes and the Haworthias that are on this table here over onto this plant stand that we put up yesterday. And if you didn't see the video when we put the plant stand up, do check out that video. This is actually part of a few-part series of video vlogs of sort of revamping the Polytunnel and making lots more space for the spring. And what we're doing is we're going through a lot of the succulents that we've got extras of and dividing a lot of them and obviously potting a lot of them up and then selling them on at wholesale to other wholesalers here in Northern Ireland. And you can see here with big bowls of aloes and everything. But what I'm going to be doing is going through everything here, and in the meantime I'm going to be putting it all onto the plant stand we've got at the back. And this means that this table here will then be cleared and we'll be able to expand on all the cacti. And this is going to take probably a few weeks for me to completely revamp how I want this polytunnel to look. So this is probably going to be a bit of an ongoing series. I just thought I'd share it with you. And as I say, yesterday's we set up the plant stand there. This is actually a twin pack of sort of steel frame here. It's green coated and it's sturdy enough. Honzi has tied it up here and he's also tied it up to the back. So if the polytunnel wobbles, it's not good. The plant's not going to wobble off, and this is going to be sturdy enough. And this is pretty good, I have to say. Very pleased with it so far. Now obviously, because succulents need as much light as possible, it's not as much light down the very bottom here. There is light and the sun was coming through earlier, so this will get sun underneath. As I say, it's not blocked off at the back, as you can see there, so the light is going to come through, which is really important with shelving, because if you've got plants, cacti especially, and you've got shelving on top and the light isn't being able to get through, they can grow a bit etiolated and stretch. But here I've made sure the back is empty. Sun is going to come through right on the back wall through the polytunnel there and give them light. But this is the only sort of spot here that's going to be a little bit in shade. Now the right hand corner there is going to be perfect for things like this when we've got cuttings that we want to have a bright spot but away from direct sun. So that's going to be handy for as a tray there to put our cuttings underneath, because in the polytunnel the sun sort of comes through pretty much everywhere, even underneath the tables. And then if you're trying to sort of callus off cuttings and things like that, it can be a bit of a problem. That's going to be perfect for that. This is going to be bright enough for the Haworthias and Gasterias. They don't need as much bright sunshine, and then I'm going to sort of work my way up with what needs more sun, and obviously the biggest plants up the top. And that's it. I've got these trays here. These are sort of like car boot trays, they call them. You find them in some of the sort of the pound and dollar shops and IKEA. They're quite handy actually, because it means you can take the plants off the individual pots and you can fit more onto the trays, and if the water comes off, it stores the water without it dripping all over the floor. So it's a good way to keep everything sort of clean and tidy. So I've got the trays on there, and then I'm going to start off, and I'm going to start off with the ones at the bottom shelf first that obviously don't need as much direct. I mean, these have actually gone a bit purpley colour because they get too much sun here. And same with this as well. So I'm going to put these ones in the bigger bowls down on the bottom. So I'm going to start off with the Haworthias and the Gasterias first, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to pick to put onto the shelves. Now that's the first I've put at the bottom. I've put some of the aloes, the aloegenicas. As you can see, they sort of go very purple. They do better in a bit more shade. So here they will get sun coming in from the sides. And obviously I'm going to be putting plants on the top. I'm going to make sure that I don't cover, I've took the trays off here. So make sure I have plants where there's gaps so sun can also go directly on them from the top as well as from the sides. And my Haworthia there. So these prefer a little bit more shade. Aloe can usually take pretty much good sunshine, but as I say, I think this is going to benefit here from having a bit more shade. So obviously I'm going to probably see how they go, and if plants look like they need a bit more light, I can move them up. But that's what I'm going to be putting at the bottom there. Now I'm a bit of a change of plan, guys. I'm trying to make sure that obviously plants that need as much light as possible. I'm a bit concerned because of these trays. It's sort of blocking a little bit of the light when I'm putting the plants on. And obviously Gasteria and Haworthia don't need as much bright. They do need bright light, but the aloes would need the most sun. So I was going to put bigger plants down the bottom and smaller ones at the top. And I'm going to sort of Not quite sure what I'm going to do, but I'm just going to show you what I've done so far, and then I'm going to probably have a bit of a rearrange again. And most important thing, I have plants that need the most light at the top, which is going to be the aloes. So I think I was going to work bottom up, but I think I'm going to start top down. Now the biggest sort of, I mean, you can see when I take the black trays away, there's so much more light for the plants. So I think I'm going to have to, sadly the black trays are absolutely brilliant for fitting a lot of plants on, but they're okay probably if everything's on one level and there's nothing going on top. But when you've got plants, you know, obviously going on top, it does block out a lot more light. And as you can see, there's tons more light. So I want to sort of put the plants, space the plants out on here so all of the plants on this stand get direct light from the top as well as the sides. That's very important with succulents. So change of plan again. Looks like I'm going to have to take these trays off and put them onto probably these little saucers so a lot more light can go around the plants, and plants then under the shelves can get light coming from the top as well. You just have to play around with these things, because with succulents, you know, the biggest problem is the light. Now this is a very bright Polytunnel south facing garden, but if you have light blocked from the top, it can still not be enough light. So just going to have to rearrange things, take the trays off and put them into individual pots, but not a problem, nothing that isn't fixable. Yep, definitely decided that the black trays have to go. Look how much brighter and lighter that is, guys. And it is a shame because the black trays are great for collecting water, as here, and it means you can fill them up with plants. But I'm just going to have to spread the plants out more so they all evenly get light, and the difference taking the black trays away is unbelievable. As you can see, they're all getting sun. The sun's coming in now, and every single plant here is got sunshine, so that's how it's going to be. And I may have to get some more individual little pots, but that's the way it goes. This is quite sturdy enough, and it's not close, it's not directly close to the polytunnel sides, because on a windy day this can blow, and as long as I don't put plants that are too tall close where they can blow off, shouldn't be a problem. As you can see, that's if I go like that, they're not going to fall off, and that's good. So change of plan. As I say, I don't plan my videos, as you know. This is purely a vlog and just going along as and how I do it. Always a change halfway through. So yep, I'm going to put the plants that need the most light and biggish plants up at the top shelf now. So here I go again. Now when you're moving plants about, it's always a good idea to check then, time to sort of remove any dead leaves. Aloes always sort of die their old leaves from the base, and I have made a video on how to remove the dead leaves from aloe plants, and this is because a few people asking me before, do I just leave the dead leaves or do I remove them? And in this case, it's always best to remove. And I've just found a little tiny plant that must have come off, and it's still alive, a little cactus. It must have come off something, and I can never throw anything away. I'll just stick it in there. It probably root. I think it's come off one of the puncheas by the looks of it, and it's got little roots on it still. It's amazing. But that's all the old dead bits and bobs, old flower heads and everything like that. And I'll just show you where I am now. Now, it's not going to stay like this. I'm just rearranging a few things. The aloes obviously are the ones that need a lot of light. So these I'm putting on here. And I haven't really got enough. See all the saucers there? I'm going to have to get some individual saucers for these. Because as I say, the black trays don't work because it creates too much darkness, and by taking the trays away and just putting the little pots underneath, it lets a lot more light all around the plants because they need light coming in from the top as well as the sides. So far so good. And as I say, putting the ones that need the most light at the top and then working my way down. And this is where I am so far, but it's going to be all completely moved about again. So just putting it up and seeing what I can do for now. I love rearranging, guys. It is absolutely so therapeutic. Now, guys have been hard at it all afternoon. Look how much space there is here. And I've just got these left to put away. So much space. I'm going to leave, obviously, the very big aloes at the back because they're very heavy. Too heavy to go onto the stand there. But there's loads of room now to expand our plants, which is absolutely brilliant. And look at this, guys. Look what I've done so far. This is the top shelf. A lot of all the aloes, agaves, all on the top there. And pretty sturdy as well. They're directly away from the side of the polytunnel, so if it was very windy and this It's not going to blow them over, as you can see. That'd have to be a hurricane to be like that, no problem. And just putting some more of the aloes underneath there. Still lots of space, and that's really all I've got left. So not only is there going to be plenty of room for them, but I've made all of this room here just by putting up the shelves. And it's given me an idea with these. These are my other succulents here, and they're all on one level, all on the table. They're probably, again, a couple of meters. But if I was to get the same thing here, then a lot of these could all go on exactly the same way there. Light's going to come all the way through from the sides. And as long as I position them so the light gets all around them, it's going to save a lot more space. I'll probably make some space again there by getting one of these here. So I'm having to think about that. I think I may do. And it's going to make it look, not only is it going to be far more aesthetically pleasing to come in the polytunnel and see it more like displayed nicer, it's going to give us so much more space. So very exciting. So as I say, just left with that little bit there and a little bit here. I'm going to show you what it looks like when the stand is all done. Now guys, that's it all completed, and I have to say, I think it looks great. Look at that, all nice and neat on there, absolutely fantastic. Space all around the plants, so there's plenty of room for when I pop them on as well, which is really important, because if you put them all on tightly on the shelf and then you go to repot, you find you've got no room. So that's brilliant. I cannot believe something as simple as putting that shelf up has made all of this room here. I mean, look at that. It's incredible. It really is. Space down here, space all along here. These are all the dead bits from the aloe, dead leaves, all of this. And obviously I'm going to be giving all this a clean, and loads of room now for the cacti. So that's absolutely brilliant. And as I say, it's really given me an idea here with the succulents to probably get also one of these shelves, even a couple of them again, down here, and I'd be able to stock it up again and give me a lot more room. And that's really what it is. I mean, this is a large polytunnel. It's 10 by 20, 10 feet wide and 20 feet long, so it's large enough. But our biggest problem is because everything's all been on one level, it sort of takes up a lot of space when you can really utilise it far better. The most important thing is the plants get maximum light, which is essential here in Ireland because it is a rainy country. But it's been a lovely day today. And then this lovely bulbine here is really gorgeous. So it's going to stay on the table. But there's just so much more room. I'm so happy. So I think tomorrow, guys, I'm going to start on, these are all the pots here underneath the table. I think I'm going to give them a really good tidy up, because there's a lot of them we don't use, and some of them are broken. And I've got these crates down here to probably put all the pots in so they stay nice and tidy. And it's wonderful to have a good spring clean in the polytunnel. So guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you want to know more about how to grow cacti and succulents, then please do check out my website, desertplantsofAvalon.com. And thanks you all for your support and for watching. So guys, I want to send you loads of love, heaps of happiness, and tons of plant power from across the Emerald Isle. And until the next video, bye.